There you go. How are you doing, guys? Hello, Pontus. Hey. Hey, Henry. Oh, wow. Dude Man TV. I know who you are. Ah. How you doing, man? It's been ages. I think last time we met was 3 years ago or something like that. Are you still at Massive? Just wondering. 50K, hello. Hello, hello. Nice. Okay, I'm just gonna put up the microphone like this. Just once again, please let me know if the sound is okay. Let's see how it goes today because I have a huge headache. So I hope it's all right. Cantabrian. Hello. Hola. I'm guessing you are from Spain. Carlos Mateo, thank you for the like. But dude, man, it's been. I'm just gonna call you like this so everybody knows that I'm talking to you on chat. So nice. Okay, fantastic. All right. So, one question. Dude, man, are you working with the newly announced Star Wars project or with Avatar? Man, huge projects on Massive going on. Quite amazing. Okay, so let's continue with the battle, the Sister of Battle. Well, I guess you can. Yeah, I think that's totally fine. I mean, yeah, there is only 2 options, and everything is public in that regard, so that is cool. Henry, Peter, I don't know. I haven't done anything about that, so I would say no. Yeah, dude, man. Yeah, I can imagine. The NDAs are, yeah, quite heavy, or the DNAs. I don't think I have said anything about this, but Fabio Sanchez, gracias. I was talking to some clients for a game trailer, cinematic, and they were asking me, yeah, the same thing. Yeah, are you interested? Yeah, can you send you NDA to talk about it? And then I replied, yeah, sure. Yeah, send me the DNA, and it's gonna be completely fine. then they answer me, well, yeah, we are not so. The NDA will be totally enough. No need to to send any DNA. Okay, so yeah, let's see. I haven't touched the illustration since last stream. Let's see. Okay. And all right, so continue with the I don't know what has happened with this brush, but for some reason it hasn't changed the settings. Okay, now. And transfer as well. There you go. But yeah, regarding massive projects, of course, I have no idea aside that there is support. Well, what is being made public. And yeah, sounds like a pretty fun project. I mean, even though they haven't said much, but yeah, I would love to work on a project like that. It would be fantastic to do some character designs for a Star Wars game, open world. Yeah, I'm happy freelancing. So yeah. Yeah, maybe something of the kind. So if I can still do work as a freelancer, that would be nice. $50K. I finally got on your stream, and on this case, I would like to say that I really love your art. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Ah, your English is perfect. Where are you from? 50K. But yeah, thanks a lot. Dude, man, I'm doing good. Yes, I'm enjoying the freelancer style life. Still, it's a lot of much work than being on a studio. It's more stressful. But it's more fulfilling. At least for me. I guess that's a very personal and subjective opinion, and it will depend on every single person case. But yeah, for me, it's quite good. From Russia, hey, nice. Хорошо, хорошо. Your English is очень хорошо. 50K. Yes. Oh, another another Russian. Hello. How are you guys doing? Where in Russia are you guys? Both of you. Some years ago, I traveled around Russia for quite some time. Um, Pietro, thank you. Much appreciated. Thanks. Aha, okay. Yeah, I think the closest I've been from there was um, Yekaterinburg and Kazan. I think that's the closest. Because I was also then the next one that could be. I was also in Irkutsk from Moscow. Nice. Yeah, what a fantastic city. I was in Moscow. Yeah. Hey, Diego. Qué guay que te hayas juntado. Fantastic that you are here. Again, for all the 40K lovers, Diego here that just joined the stream, he's also a great illustrator, and he does a lot of 40K stuff as well. I believe he has a stream too. So on Twitch TV, I believe. So just go and join him or follow or whatever that is. John Jensen, hello, hello. How are you doing? All right, yeah, there you go. Thursdays around 9 p.m. Fantastic. But yeah, going back to Russia, I had such a wonderful time during those travels. I went directly to Vladivostok, and from there I went to Khabarovsk. From Khabarovsk, I went to Ulan-Ude. From Ulan-Ude, I went to a small village to the south. From Ulan-Ude, no, then not south, but west, more to the south of Irkutsk, but going towards the south from there. Then I went to Irkutsk, then to Alhon in the Baikal Lake. Then from there, Yekaterinburg, then Kazan, and finally Moscow. Moscow. Yeah, such an awesome trip. And the food. Oh my goodness, the food in Russia, so good. Hello, Vilya. Muchos besos. This time I saw. Nice. So another illustrator and concept artist from Russia. Fantastic. And again, your English is perfect as well. Okay, so let's see. It's difficult to follow the chat and paint at the same time. For next stream, I'm gonna see if I can find a way to put the general chat somewhere on my painting screen, so I don't have to turn the head to read. But yeah, about Russia and Siberia, guys, your country is insanely big. I mean, it's ridiculous how big it is. For the first time, I experienced some kind of dizziness just by trying to grasp how big Russia is. Because it's one thing to just Tom, thanks for the like. One thing is to know it's like from a rational point of view. Of course, you see a map, and then you can see that it's gigantic. But another thing is to experience that that size and those distances and how long it takes to travel from one place to another. And yeah, it was quite dizzying in some way. Well, fantastic! And what type of art you do? By the way, your name is Daniel. Just to make sure. 50K. Yeah, that was a long trip. Yeah, it not a secret at all. It was just for pleasure. Izu, thanks for the follow. Thank you. Much appreciated. Welcome to the stream where we are painting character illustration, Warhammer 40K fan art of a Sister of Battle. Yeah, nice. Okay, so my Cyrillic it's still okay. Dude, man, you don't. You don't? That is strange. I mean, you are should look at it here. Ah, okay. You mean yeah. So I'm multi-streaming. So I'm streaming for YouTube and Facebook as well as Twitch. So that's why. Dude Man, I think, I don't know if she's on the stream, but yeah, there you go. Delia, what are you doing? I don't know what Daniel is gonna say, but my impression is that is the case. Especially there are also some official, I mean, some illustrators that are doing some official art for Warhammer, and they are very good. Mikhail, Xavier, and Igor. Yes. Cantabrian, yeah, totally. Such a fantastic uh, gathering of artists. Daniel, thanks for the like. Oh, I forgot. Let's put some cozy fire. It's winter, it's cold. It's late in the evening here. So nothing better than a cozy, relaxing fireplace. Okay, Daniel. Thank you. Thanks a lot for the follow on Twitch. Спасибо большое. And yeah, going back to Russia, then Moscow, my goodness, such a pretty city. I mean, I haven't seen ever a city that was so like, well, how could I put it, like so well presented with flowers everywhere. Everything was like in very good shape. Like you could really see that they spend a lot of money on the city. Place that I haven't been in Russia and I would love to go is St. Petersburg, but I cannot say it in English. St. Petersburg. I would love to go. Maybe, who knows? Maybe with some luck, I get invited to the artillery event when all the COVID thing it's kind of controlled and we can get back to normal. Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, Henry. Yeah, you definitely should try the streaming. But just if you think it's something fun to do. Well, you don't have to, but yeah, it is something fun. It's the cool thing is at least for me, just I see that it's just a fantastic way of like painting, but also talking to you guys, and so it's not so lonely, and yeah, so it's great. Kind of like painting or drawing with some friends. Yeah, Henry. Yeah, totally. Yeah. I think the last I mean the next thing that I should do is to put together some Discord channel or something as another way so we can all share their things, so it doesn't become just like chatting like that, but also give an opportunity to share stuff. I think that would be a nice thing to do. Juan Toledano, bienvenido. Buenas noches. Croxer. Which painting? Is to my left or to my right? Those are from some personal things that I did quite some time. So they are pretty old. On the right, yeah. So it's some kind of barbarian character with a huge sword. Hi, Bruno. Hello. Welcome to the stream. All right, so let's see. Let's recap a little bit about what are the goals for this character. So for some of you guys that haven't seen or were not on the other streams, so to put things a little bit into perspective, so the goal of this character, so she's supposed to be, with we decided that her name was going to be Constance. The name was given by somebody from the community. So she's supposed to be some hardened veteran of the order of the martyred lady, and she's supposed to be some kind of champion, some kind of paladin, so to speak, in the order. And she would be seen by like younger novices and stuff like that, like the like an example to follow, right? Like an inspiration through her, not only her martial prowess, but also her attitude and everything. So she's supposed to be very confident, very calm. And that's the type of things that I wanted to kind of show with the character. And that's some of the things that I'm trying to focus with the design, with the pose, with the expression. Let's see there. Yeah, we could put some more purity seals around here. 50k. You think so? Nice. Yeah, I think so too. I think it will be pretty good. Like I said, I was thinking overall, like, okay, so a channel to share, for example, inspiration type of material. Could be art from other artists, but it could be some type, I don't know. Jeremy, thanks for the like. Could be photos, any type of inspiration, anything that you could think would be nice to share. Then could be another channel for sharing work as well that we've been doing during the stream, or personal stuff, that kind. That would be nice, and that way we can also kind of decide a subject for a stream or several streams, and then we are all doing the same thing, and then share on the channel and compare and give feedback and stuff like that. That would be a great thing to do. And yeah, I'm not sure about anything else. At least I haven't thought about it. Maybe you have some suggestions. That would be greatly appreciated, of course. Croxair. Well, it depends. Lately, I'm not. I'm having like a big rest or pause from listening to music. So I'm more listening to podcast or listening to series like TV series, but since I'm working, I barely look, so it's more listening. But yeah, podcast or stuff like that. example, I'm listening to a very long podcast about piracy. He's a history podcast about that focus only about piracy, and I'm listening to it for research purposes for my personal project, because I want it to be very heavily inspired on the real pirates. So like I always say, you need to do a lot of research before starting to work on something. So that's what I'm doing, and it's super enjoyable. It's a fantastic podcast and like hundreds of episodes because it's such a rich history. The one concerning pirates and the golden age of piracy, because it's also like several hundred years. So it's a very long period of time and very different along the way. It is called the History of Piracy podcast, I believe. Just let me double check. The Pirate History podcast. And that's how it is called. And it goes in very in depth about different things and events, and so it's very good. And it's fantastic also if you are interested in history in general, because it gives a look into this very popular theme, historical theme, which is pirates, but in popular how do you say, in popular oh my goodness, my English now is just where is the okay. Yeah, in the popular culture is so how do you say, exaggerated and almost cartoony. So it is fantastic to listen to something that is it's serious and accurate in historical terms, and you realize how absolutely crazy world that was. I mean, when this expression that that reality is always how is it in English? It's something like it's more crazy than fiction. With the history of piracy, it's exactly that. It's just insane and so cool. Bruno, my favorite exercise to study painting, well, that depends quite a lot of what is the aim of the study, right? Because it can vary quite a lot. What is the subject of the study? What is it that I'm trying to do? Is it the human figure? Is it colors? Is it I don't know, economy of brush strokes? Is it composition? Is it, could be many things. Juan Toledano, thank you. Yeah, that's it in English. Yeah, reality surpass fiction. Yeah. So when it comes to the real pirates during the golden age of piracy, it is just insane. It is, and from our nowadays perspective, it is so difficult to really get a grasp of what it really meant to be there living on that time, on the new world. That now it's just like, okay, the Americas from Europe is not that far away, but in that time it took months to go there, so they were almost isolated, and it's like a microcosmos entirely, subject to what happens in Europe and on the kingdoms and the policies of the empires and kingdoms in Europe, but at the same time left alone because it's so far away. So yeah. Daniel, I don't know if you answered, but I totally missed. In that case, I was just curious what type of art you do. I'm always very interested in Russian artists because yeah, the Russian school is just insanely good. Let's work a little bit on this ugly guy here. Also, by the way, last stream I forgot to mention this. I don't know if any of you are aware, but like I believe 2 weeks ago, I put up on my ArtStation store the 40K Primark portraits available for free to download for print. So not as prints because they are. I mean, I cannot put prints for free, but just the images in very high resolution for printing. So if you go to my ArtStation store there, they are available for free to download, and you can, if that's something that you would like, so you can download it and print it on your own, or yeah, looking for a print shop somewhere nearby. But Henry, yeah, hello. Bruno, yeah, Russian art, yeah. When I was in Moscow, and we went to the Tretiakov gallery. Oh my goodness, so good. I could spend hours and hours in there. And they had so many paintings from Riepin, which is one of my absolute favorite painters ever. Peter or Peter, hey, well, thanks for joining the stream, and yeah, there is nothing to thank. It's yeah, just having fun here. Bruno, yeah, in Brazil. Yeah, that's quite far away. But you know, maybe at some point you could make a trip around Europe and go into some of those to plan like a long trip, visiting some of these hot spots of art museums. So the Museum of El Prado in Madrid, the Tretiakov Gallery in Moscow, the Hermitage in St. Petersburg, and Le Louvre in Paris. Will be quite a trip. But yes, so since it's so far away from Brazil, so at least you get like a worth your money. Peter, any updates on the tutorial? You mean the if you mean the Space Marines? Yeah, I'm still working on it, but it advanced slowly because of I have a lot of things to do. So I'm working on it, actively working on it, but it goes slowly because in one hand is a lot of work. Because I'm trying to do like I'd say many times, a very in-depth tutorial, or series of tutorials, because it's gonna be many videos. And at the same time, yeah, I'm busy with work and life. So yeah, hopefully I will have them soonish, but yeah, it's gonna take some time still. Juan Toledano. All right, nice. Yeah, you know, I also started traditional back in the day, and I don't know about you, if you are struggling or not with the digital, but to me, it was excruciating process. Of course, by that time, there was absolutely no tutorials or anything, so it was just on my own. trying to figure out things, and with the help of a colleague and friend. But yeah, it took me more or less an entire year of grind until I started to feel comfortable with digital painting. It took me so much time just to switch the chip on my head. Yeah, still remember to this day. Yeah, it was like I couldn't paint. I had to learn to paint again. Cantabria, no, really nice. Nice. And yeah, and if you are gonna do one of Constance, that would be fantastic. Would love to see it. Bruno, no. I mean, yes, exactly. I don't use many brushes. Normally, I use one or two only, and then for very specific things, I change. But yeah. I mean, brushes are useful, but they are not so important as people tend to think. I mean, I have so many brushes. Some of them are repeated, by the way. So not all are unique, but still there are quite many, and I still use, so yeah, one or two 90% of the time. Always the same ones, which I created myself. So Carlos, thanks for the like. Yeah, Juan Toledano. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was. Yeah, like you say, learning to paint once again. So frustrating. Peter, if I submit to hardcover 3, no, not this time. I've been so busy. I had to drop. I had to drop it for this one. I'm afraid. So I think it's enough with hardcover 1 and 2. But yeah, yeah. I had a extremely busy last year. Let's see how this new one will be, but yeah. Oh no, I'm having some issues with Photoshop from time to time. It doesn't allow me to use any. You see, with the cursor, it just stay like this, and I have to restart the program. So that's what I'm gonna do. Just I'm gonna change the like this, and then I will restart to avoid that by accident any secret stuff appear on screen, and I will have to hunt you and kill you. So to avoid that, just gonna put this screen, and let's restart the program. Almost there. Yeah, Photoshop is giving me a lot of headaches lately. I don't know why. All right, here we are. Okay. 50K. I don't know how correct it is to say, but speaking about the Tretyakov gallery, for me, your work, your art, are academic art in 40K. I mean, your style. Well, thanks, man. I really don't know, but yeah. I mean, yeah, you are too kind, but it's like definitely no way I would be something comparable to what they have on the Tretyakov gallery. I mean, I'm just like a baby. But yeah, thank you, man. Kubalke, thank you. Thank you. Yes, I agree. The 40K universe is it's dark as hell. And that's why we like it, right? Today I spent some time playing the Battlefield, Gothic Battlefield. Oh my goodness, what is it called? Battlefleet Gothic 2. So cool. I was listening to some of the novels from 40K, and they were talking so much about yeah, space battles and stuff like that, and I thought like, yeah, I want to fight some naval battles in space. They have done a pretty good job with the game, I think. With the second one, I haven't played the first one, but the second one was pretty good. I was also very lucky that they asked me to collaborate with them for the Chaos expansion of that one. So I did some small collaboration for their cinematics. I mean, if he has some, I'm thinking about putting him some classic 40K cables, but if they were supposed to be attached somewhere now, they will be severed. Maybe not this one, maybe this one was going behind the neck, but if I put another one, should be, I guess, hanging. Yeah, Pontus Battle Fleet, yes. Sometimes painting and talking at the same time is not the best for my brain. If I normally speak slowly, now during the stream I feel like I'm becoming some kind of ant from Lord of the Rings. Speaking slowly. Yeah, Spring Guy is playing Dota 2. Pontus, you are so kind. So supportive. Dude, man, yeah. And of course, just if it wasn't clear that this is some kind of a chaos mutant or cultist or something like that, let's put like a horn on around here, and we'll have to put, of course, some kind of tattoo, chaos tattoo of some kind. Same. Or carved in the skin. Because yeah, we will make that is it. This was some kind of champion that challenged Constance, and yeah, he met his end at the edge of her blade. Yeah, dude, man. Yeah, I got it. One of the things that I'm enjoying about streaming now is the fact that I can just paint, taking my time with no stress. I'm just enjoying, with no pressure of having to deliver at some time. It will be ready when it's ready. Let's put also, will be nice, like some kind of error ring, just to make him look a little bit more savage. So how many of you in the chat are 40k fans? And on what level do you play the game, the tabletop game, or do you paint miniatures, collect miniatures, armies, or just read books, or are interested on the lore only, or video games, or yeah, I'm just curious. And which faction or race is your favorite one? Peter, lore fan, yeah. Can repeat, Peter, you are a fan in capital letters. You do everything. Yeah. I used to be a huge fan of the tabletop game and painting and making conversions of miniatures. I was into conversions way before it became so popular as it is now. Yeah, I was playing a lot, like to a competitive level. I was going to a lot of tournaments. I won many tournaments playing, and that was, I think, in the 4th edition. Yeah. But now I don't have time for any of that. So I just read novels and play some video games from time to time. But yeah, I don't have time for painting or making conversions. Toledano, oh nice. And Crimson Fist. One of my favorites. I love their story. Cantabrian, you also nice. Okay, cool. Pontus, yes, of course, I know you are. Yeah, that is a shame, Pontus, that you never got to try it. I remember that you were thinking with orcs or something like that back in the time where we used to play at work. Can't remember. Yeah, but yeah, Space Marines. Yes. Better. Yeah, nice. Yeah. Awesome. Peter, oh yeah, the Night Lord trilogy is fantastic. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. I think from some years back, they have done such a fantastic work in general with the novels. They have put it to such a high standard. I remember more than 10 years ago, they started to publish some novels, but they were not good. They were very simplistic. They were not trying to expand the universe in a realistic way. They were just content with kind of replicating the very narrow representation from the tabletop game, and it made it quite ridiculous. I mean, some of the actually some of the Ragnar Blackmane novels are from that time, and they are pretty bad. And I remember everything changed with Dan Abnett when he started to work with Dark Library, and he published the first novels with Eisenhorn, with the Gaunt's firsts, and he changed everything. He kind of settled the path for how the novel should be: serious, expanding the universe, and not using the tabletop game as a reference. And yeah, now they are doing such a fantastic work with them. And it has been now for many years now. Yeah, Pontus, that's right. Yeah, so I was correct with orcs. Yeah. Yeah, I remember. Yeah. But the important thing is to participate, right? It's not to win. You know, that's actually myself, even though I was extremely competitive when playing, even if it wasn't just on a actual competition back in Spain, but just for fun. But to me, I was more interested on the narrative that happened with each game more than winning per se. So even if I lost, I always thought it was so cool because all the micro stories that happened during the battle and all the things. But yeah, like you are guys saying, yeah, the books are fantastic, and Dan Abnett is, for me, he's the best. And they are amazing authors aside from him. But as I said, he is the first one that kind of set the standard. Yeah. And Cantabrian. Yes, I do check some of the 40k lore channels on YouTube. Not all of them, but yeah. I especially like Lutin that Pontus told me about. And then I'm listening to another one that I'm really enjoying, A Border Prince. That he's kind of more narrating lore with a very dramatic voice. And he does a fantastic work. $50K, okay, nice. Space Wolves, yeah, they were my initial army when I started with 40k. So they have a very special place in my heart. I like them quite a lot. And man, what a different reality it is from the fandom of 40k, working with laws and stuff like that. Pontus, you know, it wasn't exactly that. I still remember that. So for the guys on chat, Sofan is was a colleague of us, and we used to. There was a huge group of colleagues at work that we like to play Warhammer 40k, the tabletop game. So from time to time, we used to stay at work, and we had sceneries, and we brought our armies there, and we played some games. And Sofan, he had a fantastic, huge Imperial Guard army, and I was playing with my Space Marines, normal Space Marines. And at one point he had, I think, like 15 conscripts or penal guardsmen or something like that charged my Space Marines, a squad of Space Marines that were led by a librarian. It was my character of my army. And all of them died, the guardsmen, except one that with a very, I can't remember what he needed to roll, but in the last roll with one single dice, he managed to kill my fucking librarian. It was like such an epic moment. Yeah, Juan Toledano. The thing is, I don't have any time for the game itself. I know I would enjoy it quite a lot, but yeah, I don't have the time. And also painting miniatures and converting, which it's one of the things that I enjoy the most. I don't know if you can see. Let's see. Here, I have a trophy from the best painted army in one of the competitions that I went. So I was, yeah, the painting and converting was one of my favorite things. Better, gotta feed the wife. Yes, yes, exactly. Salvador Tracal, yeah, man. That's one of these things with collecting armies, that they accumulate the miniatures, and if you care about how to paint them and do a good job, it takes such a long time, and it builds the pressure to paint them. Yeah, I have my latest project before I had to stop with it was Imperial Guard army, rule-wise, but on the theme of Lost and Damned, so chaos Imperial Guard, so to speak. And I was doing a lot of conversions and things like that. This was many years ago, so the general for my army, I wanted to be a Chaos Space Marine. So I made a conversion to have of course this was before the primaries. So the Space Marines, if you compare to the Guardsmen miniatures, they are almost the same size. So scales wise, it didn't work. So I had to make a conversion to make a Space Marine in real scale in comparison with my Guardsman, and it looked pretty good. Hey, boss, hello, how are you doing? Or how do you say it in, should I say it in French pronunciation, bous, or how should it be, boss, bous? How you doing, man? Glad to see you here. I'm enjoying quite a lot your latest uploads on Instagram. Well, doing fine. Just enjoying painting here this character, and chatting, and yeah, having a good time. How is it going with your concept art job? It has been some time now, right? Since you started working with concept art. Boss then. Right, I think I have too many layers already. So I'm gonna start merging stuff. I think yeah, all of these, right? Oh my goodness, I just like I lose the side of the chat for 1 second and it's just like a wall of text. Luis Ramón Castilla Rosa. Amazing, congratulations. Oh, thank you. Muchas gracias. ¿A qué te refieres que hago caos? Boss. All right. Yeah, I remember that when we talked a lot, you were doing storyboards, but then at some point you jumped to concept art, and now you are doing animation. Okay, cool. You mean you are animating yourself, or doing storyboards for animation? And if I remember correctly, you were living in Annecy in France. Is that right? Gathering wolves. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you, man. Yes. Yeah, the thing is that sometimes the game development it's so complicated, and it's not as straightforward as people tend to think. I mean, sometimes, yeah, it's just bad decisions and or bad vision, or they don't feel bold enough to try other things, but many times as well it's just like it's something that might work on concept art doesn't necessarily may work on the game itself, so it really depends from case to case. But yeah, I hear you, what you mean. Sometimes the concept, since it's the first iteration of an idea, is very fresh and very powerful, but through all the production pipeline, and since it has to jump from different people at the end, it kind of get washed away some of the elements, so you need to pay quite some attention for the end result, just to keep that freshness and energy that the original concept might have. Gathering wolves. Oh yeah, yeah. Such a dream team we were. I think from the original team from the Division 1, there is only one remaining concept artist at Massive, sadly. And we were 13. Yeah, quite so many. Boss. I became a 2D animator again. Aha, nice. Cool. Ah, yeah, there you go. In Angoulême. Yeah, I don't know why I think I mixed it somehow. Yeah, yeah. And Gathering Wolves. Oh, they're doing an art of the Division 2 as well. Nice. Yeah. You know, the first book of the Division art, that was my own project that I had to. Nobody thought about that on the studio, and it was me who pushed it and managed to convince the big bosses to put. I mean, we had such a huge amount of work that, yeah, for me it was quite insane that nobody thought about that. So yeah, it was actually me that made that happen. But yeah, fantastic that they are also doing the same with Division 2, or if they have done it. I think, yeah, I was already out of the studio before they finished the game. So if there is a book, I hope that there is some of my stuff in there as well. Oh, Luis Ramon, yeah, that that was very nice of you just to put it in English. Thanks a lot, man. Really appreciate it. Muchas gracias, Luis Ramon. Gracias. Thank you. And any tip for someone that wants to invent himself as a concept designer? And even if you are 43 years old, well, like anybody else, there is nothing. I mean, age is not a barrier per se, unless you are 90 something and you are gonna die soon. So time is a constraint. But yeah, with on your 40s, that's totally fine. So I would say, like anything, yeah, in that regard, is no different from anybody else at any other age. Just like put the work, depending on what level you are technically speaking, but just work, make the grind. That's the most important thing. And until you are prepared and ready. But yeah, there is no disadvantage, so to speak, with age. Maybe, yeah, things that I would say perhaps the fact that you have more, I mean, I'm gonna be Captain Obvious here with this, but you have more responsibilities in life, and that of course take away time and energies to focus on art and getting better at it. But aside from that, if you still can manage to find the time, then yeah, just keep it up and you will get there sooner or later. Yeah, and that's what I can say, like in such general terms. Unless if you ask me something more specific, then I can give you some tips. But I would say, in order to work more in a more intelligible fashion. Make sure that you know exactly which are your goals, what type of concept artist you want to be, in terms of what type of work you want to do. Is it character design? Is it environment? Is it props? Is it vehicles? Is it more in general? And then focus more on that to be very good at that. So that's what I could say in such broad terms. Boss, by the way, I don't know if I told you, but I started my professional career also as a 2D artist, animator, sorry. And I jumped into concept art because that was when the 3D animation started, so it kind of killed the 2D animation industry. So I had to kind of reinvent myself because I didn't want to learn 3D, since what I enjoyed about animating was drawing. I said, fuck 3D. Gathering walls, really? Well, happy to hear. Yeah, that's fantastic. Gathering walls. Well, I'm glad that you are here, and also glad that I can do this, because it's a pretty fun and enjoyable thing to do. And I really enjoy being here chatting with you guys. I really do. Pontus, thanks for the like. Okay, let's see a little bit of these details for the armor. It's time to start. Okay. So so kind of these breast plates, they have the fleur de lis. Gathering wolves, nice. Can you share what game are you working on, or is still secret. This part here is gonna be a pain in the ass to do. Let's see. Luis Ramon, thanks a lot. I'm speaking about more precisely how to begin to show my capacity and skills in more professional way. I'm interested in props and vehicles and push myself with characters. The first thing I know is made a skill pro portfolio, but how to know that I'm ready for industry needs. I'm good to present ideas, but industrial designer. Okay, you're an industrial designer. Okay, cool. Well, if you are industrial designer, you have such a huge advantage towards more traditional artists, because what I notice is that there are a lot of artists that want to be concept artists, but they lack an understanding on design. So they just see concept art as more of as something more related to illustration more than designing, and they struggle a lot of with that. So if you are a industrial designer, you have you are pretty good set. So I would say, of course, without knowing or seeing your portfolio, if it's in terms of rendering or this stuff like that, just compare yourself with professional work for concept design or concept art, and just compare and see if you are on that same level. Just by comparing in terms of just to see where you are at. For me, it's very difficult to give you any specifics without seeing your work. But I would say that in terms of rendering and different styles of doing things. One thing that might help is just try to replicate styles of artists that you like yourself, or you see like, okay, I would love to do, let's say, I don't know, like Ben Mauro, for example, a great concept artist. Like, okay, so let's say that you like his style and how he does things, then try to copy his style and how he does things in terms of presentation and rendering and all these type of things. And little by little, you will start to find your own style and things, and a way that you feel comfortable with. So that's what I could recommend as a first step. I hope that that makes sense, Luis Ramon. $50K, yeah, of course. I mean, you know, being an artist, a concept artist, an illustrator, or whatever, it's not like if we were saying, is like, okay, you are 40 years old and you want to become a elite athlete, triathlon athlete, or something like that. Then, yeah, that would be a problem. But to be a designer, what's the issue? I mean, the age is not an issue alone. Like I was saying, what might become a challenge is all, you know, responsibilities that you gain from age and life in general. So things are not as easy as when you are a student and young, especially if you have a family and yeah. But aside from that, if you still can find the time to work on it and improve, then of course. Also, an advantage, I would say, that like older people get against more young beginners, is that you more probably are more motivated to that change. A lot of young people, they still don't know about things. They are a little bit more unfocused. Well, man, I'm not 50K. I'm not a master at all. but yeah, of course. I mean, if I always say to my students is that the art career or the artist path is always going to be a struggle, and you have to embrace that fact. You always are going to be struggling. I am struggling all the time with my art and everything, all the time. So there is never a point where you say, finally I got to this level, I'm fine, now it's easy peasy. You should be wary if you get to a point like that, because that means that there is something that is not that quite right, because you never learn everything there is to learn, or you never become the best that you can. I mean, you're always going to be a next level to to learn and to become better at. So yeah, so it's a long struggle, and you have to embrace it. But knowing that is always, even though it's tough many times, and it's hard, but it's also in a positive note. It's always things to learn and always improving. Always, if you put the work, you're always gonna be improving. Always, and that's something pretty fantastic. I think the fact that there is no the limit is the sky, right? Is and that is quite a nice thing. Is yeah, some students they get very anxious because they want to be very good at everything pretty fast, and like I always say, this is a marathon. This is not a sprint. It's gonna take you years. And something that you will notice is that, okay, at some point you think, I want to achieve this, I want to do that, and then I will be happy with that. But when you reach that level, you understand that's I'm not happy with this. There's always new goals and new things to achieve and to learn, and that's what makes it so thrilling, at least for me, is that there is always motivation to improve, always. So yes, guys, if you want to do it, you can. It's totally doable. The secret is just work. You put the time and effort, and it's not a matter of if, but when. In my humble opinion. Maybe somebody else says something pretty different, but that's what I think. Let's see. Okay, new brush. Yoo-hoo! I can use other brushes. And there you go. Back to the the one I was using. Luis Ramon. Yeah, Giorgio. Yeah, such a beast. Yeah, and such an awesome person. He's great. I love him as a person, as an artist. He's great. But yeah, Luis Ramon, that's what I would suggest you. Just take some of the artists that you like the most and try to replicate what they do and try to understand how they do it. Hopefully also they have available some process videos or some tutorials of their process, so then you can learn as well how they do it, and then just by practicing and copying those processes, you can come up with something that you like and also adapt to your needs. That's one of the most fundamental ways of learning in art, just by copying others until you find your own space, so to speak. Dude, man. Yeah. I mean, in order to become a good artist on your own, you first need to copy from others. There's no other way. And it's natural. It's how it is. Because on the beginning you are lost, you don't have a way of doing things, and you just have a reference of other artists and see, oh, these I like. So you have that as a goal. And then what better way of trying to understand how that person work, and then you can assimilate that and just to adopt it. And then with time you kind of adapt it to your own needs, and then suddenly it becomes your own way of doing things with your own voice. And yeah. Boss, yeah, Bjorn, for sure. Yeah, it's a shame that he stopped streaming. I joined so late the streams, but through the period of time that I joined, it was very enjoyable. He's such a cool guy. Why I keep meddling with this skull? Stop it. Juan Toledano. Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of the idea with the fire. Just to make an relaxing atmosphere. Cantabrian, yeah, fantastic. Yeah, Paul Dayton. Sorry, not Paul Dayton. Paul Dayton. Yes. For me, for example, I mean, we are talking about learning from others and copying. For me, Paul Dayton has been the way to go. For me, he's been always a model to follow, an inspiration, and I always try to learn from his art from many years back. I always like, okay, I want to paint like him. So he's been one of those references that, yeah, I used to learn by trying to understand and analyze how he does things. And still a lot to learn from him. Yeah. Yeah, but I need to put this Discord channel thingy, because you guys are talking that you are painting at the same time, and I'm dying to see what you guys are doing. Would be so awesome. So we could have somewhere where to share what you guys are doing. And with so many talented artists on the chat already, yeah, it's gonna be a visual treat for sure. But yeah, Pontus, the thing is, like, even though he streamed from time to time before, he used to stream every day during the mornings. So that's what we were talking about, that he doesn't do that anymore, which is a shame. And he also managed to gather such a nice bunch of people. Okay, and how is this part? Okay, let's see. Mm, mm, mm. And okay, so this is like some kind of leathery thing. Again, I'm learning how the Adeptus Sororitas look. 'Cause I'm not used to paint them at all. I wouldn't be the best guy to make a tutorial of how to paint them. I'm not as familiar with as with Space Marines. Space Marines. One of the things, for example, going back to Paul Dayton, one of the things that why his work has been so iconic on the Warhammer universe, both 40k and fantasy, is because the way he has done things is that he has expanded visually the universe by reinterpreting things in a realistic manner. So not just trying to illustrate a toy as the miniatures, but just taking that and reinterpreting with a visual light, realistic light instead. So in a way, he's not just, you could argue that he's not being an illustrator, but also applying certain level of design into his work. And okay, let's we'll add the lights again later on. And the partido, thanks for the like. Cantabrian, yeah, totally, yeah. Paul Dayton, he's the best. Yes. Yeah, he's one of my absolute art heroes. And I know I'm not the only one about that. Salvador, yeah, well, I don't know, man. I think the one way to go with that is to try not to define every single thing and try to be a little bit more economic with your brush work. So instead of trying to polish and define every single dent, I think just like trying to make it more, yeah, rough. I mean, for example, I don't know, like, why should I try to define exactly a skull in perspective with every single thing. Here, when it's such a small detail, it's just like, but just leave it here, and maybe even this is too much. It's better. Of course, this is very personal opinion, and is my own taste, so, right? So it doesn't mean that it's better than other styles, but for me it's more appealing to leave things more rough and undefined, so the brain of the viewer just fill the gaps. I think is more effective, and that's how most of all the painters that I am a fan of work that way. I mean, real painters. So once again, going back to copying and studying the work of other artists. Yeah, I love the work of Sorolla, of Anders Zorn, of Riepin. Like, it's so many other painters, right? So, and that's the type of the way they paint, right? So not trying to define every single thing, but just being more rough. And you could say that is the same thing with Paul Dayton work as well. So he's pretty painterly. So he just put the specific details that are needed, but no more. As you can, I don't know, like here, right? So it's so rough, everything, but it's enough for you, and it feels that it's extremely detailed and defined, but it is not. And that's because of your brain is filling the gaps. And if you think about it, it's also less work. There's less things to paint. Peter or Peter, sorry, you have to tell me which one is your name, Peter or Peter. But yeah, who are my art heroes? Well, I have too many, but in terms of, okay, like my absolute favorite artist, and that have been a huge influence for me as a artist, I would say is like, yeah, Diego Velázquez, Joaquín Sorolla, Anders Zorn, Sargent as well, but I discovered him pretty late. So he hasn't been such a big influence, but I mean, at the same time, he paints very similar to, his style it's very similar to Anders Zorn and Sorolla. So I mean, that's, yeah. So it does that style of painting. Riepin, Ilya Riepin is also one of my absolute favorites. And then from nowadays, one is Paul Dayton. He's been a constant through all my artist journey since many years back. And yeah, I don't know, quite many. And also it has been, I mean, talking about those that are true to what I really like, and it's I mean, we vibrate on the same harmony, so to speak. While developing myself as an artist, there has been a lot of different other artists that at some point I thought, this is pretty cool. I want to paint or draw as this artist. And through that artist journey, I've been kind of changing and evolving and moving to something else. But there are some that still remains. And those are the ones that I just been mentioning. Yeah, this is exactly my cup of tea. Just, yeah. Okay, Peter. All right. Oh man. Uh, 50K. A Dark Eldar. Wow. To be honest, I have never painted any. That would be interesting. Yeah, why not? You try to do one at some point for sure. The clan Metcalfe or Metcalf. Sorry for butchering your name. Hi Miguel, you are a huge inspiration to me. Thanks. I don't know what to say. Pretty much admire your work on a daily basis. Any advice for understanding lighting and value? Books? I get lost when it comes to rendering my line art. Well, those are quite a lot of different things there. Well, first of all, thanks for your kind words. And advice for understanding lighting and values. And well, to be honest, when it comes to books, I don't know. I have never used any books for learning that, so I'm afraid I don't have any recommendations. I should kind of put together some kind of bibliography of that for future questions of this kind. But in terms of understanding, what I would say is that you need to learn it by steps. So first, I would suggest you first try to understand value first, and to be to a relatively advanced level of using values before you jump deep with lighting. And I understand with lighting that you mean colors. If not, sorry. But yeah, I would say first focus mostly with value, because that's gonna help you quite a lot with colors and lighting. And just do a lot of studies of from work of other artists, or from photos, or from real life. You put like some objects and try to make a study of it. And always trying to not copy, but just understand what you are looking at and why things behave the way they do. That's the best way I can put it. And then you get lost when it comes to rendering your line art. Well, That's a different thing, if I understand correctly. And I would guess that that's more of practice. And there, I don't know if you know Peter Han, but he teach a lot of that, of line work and rendering with line work, and he has a very nice method of teaching. So I recommend to look for his work, and he has published some work, some book. So he's a teacher, and yeah. I hope that answer your question. The clan. Salvador. Okay. Cantabrian. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah, so you don't need to define everything in details. It's just like, also in terms of where is the main focus of your piece, what is the most important place, and there you spend most of your time and effort trying to create some visual impact in that area through, like you are saying, with contrast, with shapes. There are many different tools that you can use for that. Golf 2K, Kopinski. Yeah, of course. He's he's a beast of an artist. Yeah, I mean, yeah. What can I say? Okay, this part is very ugly. Feels like there is some kind of breeze that is supposed to move a little bit. So I think I'm gonna use that to add a little bit of dynamism here. Yeah, but I see that this arm is gonna be problematic for me, meaning that I'm gonna struggle with it. Because I don't understand really. Okay, so it's just like a. Okay, I see. Okay. Wait, what happened with the fire? Oh, there you go. And I'm not sure if the arms they have, it seems that, for example, Paul Dayton had like some kind of leather gloves on top of the armor. For example, here talking about Karl Kopinski, so this is his. Here it is only the armor itself. Okay, it's well actually I think I'm gonna leave it for today, guys, because I was planning to do 2 hours and it's already 2 hours and a half. Time flies fly by. This is the very latest Photoshop. It is version 2.1 to be exact. Golf, yeah, for sure. But it's a little bit of a pain in the ass to do that while I'm streaming, so but yeah, the problem with using the miniatures as a reference is that you can end up having very toy-like proportions, and the designs are gonna look too exaggerated. But yeah, I mean it's definitely a good source of reference for sure for the design elements, sure. All right. Well, I think, like I said, I think I'm gonna leave it for today. Yeah, it's still quite a lot of work to finish this, but yeah, I think it's starting to look okay-ish. Yeah, maybe at some point I work a little bit more on it to give it a little push for next stream, because if not, it's gonna take forever. But yeah, guys, thanks a lot for joining today. Thanks for being so awesome, all of you. It's a real pleasure talking to you guys and starting to know you. And yeah, so see you next Saturday, same time, hopefully, if there is nothing happening, but that's the plan. So yeah, thanks a lot. Stay healthy and have a great end of weekend, guys, and a nice week, and see you next week. All right. Take care and bye bye.